Hey everyone, it's Hayes, and it's Miraculous Monday, so it's time for another screaming session.
Hit it, guys.
And today we will be taking a look at Yaksi Gozen, because we all apparently enjoy an episode full of senti-monster shenanigans. But first, a flashback. This show is apparently never letting the voice actors for Gaby Baby retire from the show. The man died, you think they could all go home, but they keep bringing him back. When will it end?
I'm saying it's not over.
Anyway, he cuts Tomoe off and she calls Lila, and when did these two start talking? It sounds from this scene they were allies already, especially, in case Gaby Baby betrayed Tomoe. But, 2 episodes before this in season 5, Lila stole Tomoe's laptop and started taking it apart with a screwdriver. So if they were allies then, why did she need to... Look, I don't know. And I get told off when I point out inconsistencies in the show, so... let's not get into it.
If you say so. Anyway.
So the bodyguard stops by for Adrian's daily shoquette allowance, and when Marinette gives him the right bag, the bodyguard winks at her. He's so precious, I love him. I do still need that New York special episode about him after they left him in the hotel in a different country. Look at his face as Adrian bites into each shoquette. Hello, this man is adorable. Although, if I was Adrian, I absolutely would have bitten into the shoquette too far, or just put the whole thing in my mouth, and choked to death. Although, as sweet as this surprise was, Marinette, it could have been an email. It's cute. But did you not have any homework to do? Aren't you busy enough? Just send him a text. Kagami and Felix are equally as cute. I love it. But Adrian, in my opinion, crochet is easier than knitting. I'd try that first. But to be fair, he does it fast. I've spent the past 2 years crocheting the back panel of a cardigan, and I've only just finished it. Not like I'm doing it constantly, and it's a difficult pattern to follow, but it takes a while. He's done it pretty quickly. Meanwhile, Kagami is shouting at her mum, but to be fair, I don't think Tomoe is wrong. Felix could snap her out of existence at any point. I'd also be paranoid if I was a senti-monster and I was dating the person with the Peacock Miraculous. I'd be a bit better not, make him angry by mistake. But also, I do see why Kagami is mad at her mum. I've been mad at her for working with Gaby Baby too. Although, if I was Kagami, I would have asked what on earth Tomoe was going to get out of this. I've just assumed all along that she's been the #1 Adragami shipper, and it sounds like she was going to get that out of the Wish for helping him, but I don't actually know. So while Kagami is destroying the house, Adrian is baking, but he's yeah, I'm not as creative as Marinette, but my cake will be good. My son, you have cremated it.
Electric chair.
And that bit flaking away on the right looks like Gaby Baby's fingers crumbling in recreation. It was gross. I loved it. Let's do it again.
One more round.
I think it's the best, honestly, he bought a joint of meat instead of the cake, but Plague does seem to enjoy putting Adrian through humiliation rituals. Plague would fit in so well in an American fraternity. After the fun interlude, we find out Tomoe has bionic eyeballs, so can she see? Are they just inserts? What happened to the eye goo she was born with? That's a horrible way to phrase eyeballs. I'll call it that again, definitely. Either way, she's very autistic. I don't mean that as an insult, I am also autistic, but she's moved into the exact same place in Paris as she was living in Tokyo. Brilliant. She still needs Vaseline though, and she could pick it up at the airport on the way to Paris, so her daughter can date Adrian Agreste. Why are most of the adults in the show after this boy? What is it about him? I don't get it. Never will. But then Lila shows up and calls Tomoe mum. I still have no idea why. Is she really her mum? She does say, oh, Kagami's your favourite daughter, but, prior to this, well, Kagami's her only daughter, so I guess by default she is her favourite. So does that mean she has more than one? Is it you? I don't know, I'm still confused. But her outfit is indeed fabulous, but her plan isn't, because telling us what the plan is immediately means it won't happen, so well done. So Ryuko and Argos rock up at Marinette's place, and I don't know why they couldn't just send her a cheeky text to say we're outside, let us in. Instead, they transform, call her in their hero forms, and without giving her literally 30 seconds to prepare, they just drop in from the skylight. Why can no one in the show be normal? I swear to God. But then Felix is like, if I'm the holder of the Peacock Miraculous, we know for sure that no one will use it for evil.
Are you sure about that?
Felix. Come on, look at yourself in the mirror, mate. Meanwhile, none of the Kwamis care about the dilemma here. They're elated the problem is happening so they can see each other. Wonderful. And after this episode, oh my god, there were still people in the comments under my commentary saying like, oh yeah, they're not senti-monsters though. How can you be this delusional? I genuinely can't tell if they're just like doing it, like just carry on, like a bit of a Miraculous internet troll, and they don't believe it, they just, you know, keep doing it to annoy people, or if they actually think that. Like, if it's the latter, please teach me how to be that delusional, because I don't know. Anyway, they come up with a solution for Marinette to have both of their remotes and to keep them in the yo-yo, so no one can get them. Which, in practice, I agree is probably the best solution to keep them safe. However, as we all know, Felix, strike back. What if that happens again? Yeah, you should look guilty, mate. So Adrikins arrives, and I love the scene where they're looking for the rings, and Marinette is like, ah yes, let me become one with the floorboards. She's absolutely great. Adrian finds the rings. I didn't even clock it the first time I watched this episode that Adrian ended up accidentally controlling Felix to calm him down. I was just having fun watching the episode, I do that a lot. But then Tomoe ends the fun party by just slicing into the house. You know, as you do, quite casually. Good one, Tomoe. Like, I dread to think how much city repairs would cost if there was no Miraculous Ladybug. But enough of that, because Yaksi Gozen has now gone for a swim.
Look at her right now. I mean, she's got to be stoked with that win.
I hope she's having fun. Lila definitely is, because when Tomoe releases her, she goes for a swim too. Isn't that cute? Although I am disappointed Ladybug only threw the steering wheel into the air. What about the rest of the van? Why would you leave it out like that? I can't believe you've done this. And then the episode ends with a really sweet and wholesome dinner with the Dupanchangs and Adrian. And it's super cute, really sweet. However, I was more bothered about the Tiki and Play interaction because we don't often get to see them, so I always enjoy it for that. So let's take a look at the fan art for this week. We have 3 pieces. The first is from Make Locket, and this is of Multi-Mouse. This sketch, amazing, beautiful. She looks so good. I love Mylène. She is such a good character. I absolutely adore her outfit. We haven't done a dedicated video on her outfit yet, but of course we absolutely will be doing. Then the next 2 pieces of fan art are from Natharts. A little bit different since one's Miraculous and the other one I'm pretty sure is Five Nights at Freddy's. So the first one is of Nino, I think just using the cat Miraculous, and he looks amazing as always. And then we also have Alia, who I think is meant to be like Roxy from Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach. And she also looks amazing. So thank you so much for sending me in your fan art besties. I also need to announce the winners of my Christmas contest I had in my Discord server. Was I supposed to do this in last month's screaming session? Yes. Why didn't I? Great question, I don't know. I just completely forgot, honestly. I'd been working a lot over Christmas. And yeah, I was pretty tired, so I just forgot. But anyway, we're doing it now. It's fine. So I had an art contest and a fit contest. The rules for the art contest were basically Miraculous fan art set at Christmas. And the winner was Nathar's, this adorable little piece. We have Marinette in the middle as a snowman, snow lady, snow person, I don't know. And then Alia, Nino and Adrian having a snowball fight. It's so heckin' cute. I absolutely love it. And the winner for the short Christmas fic was Fleefy Tricks. So let me put on my audio fic reading voice and I'll read it to you now. The snow trickled down like little cotton balls onto the floor. Gabriel swept away the snow from his boots with a frown. He always hated snow and disliked the entire season. He walked carefully to avoid getting snow in his clothes into a mostly barren cave, with nothing but a campfire and a single large tent. Gabriel huffed. "I'm back. It's too damn cold out there." He shivered as he walked towards the fire plopped down next to it. His frown slowly shifted into a content smile as the warmth of it washed over him. The height of winter. Most people found it odd out of all seasons. He despised that one. But he had his reasons. It brought back memories from a time he'd love to forget. "You're back!" Gabriel whipped his head around to see 2 women. Emily spoke as she dusted the snow off his shoulders, giggling while doing so. Natalie just stood there with her arms crossed watching him. Despite having an excellent poker face, Gabriel knew she was thinking something. "Hey," she said before sitting down next to him. "Did you find anything?" Gabriel shook his head like he'd done countless times on this trip. No sign of the Miraculous, he frowned again, which in turn made Natalie frown also. Emily's concerned eyes darted between them. "Come on, guys. There's always tomorrow. When I went into town, a man said something about a glow coming from a frozen lake. We can go there next morning. Besides, do you remember what today is?" Gabriel hadn't a single clue. The past days had been a giant blur. Natalie answered bluntly. "Christmas?" Emily nodded happily. Emily sat down in between them, grinning. "Come on, let's do something together. Not like we can leave. Blizzard seems way stronger than we thought." The fire's light danced beautifully on the cave's wall. Emily sighed. "I doubt my parents would even want to see me." Both Gabriel and Natalie stared at her, stunned at her sudden confession. "Same," Natalie murmured too. Emily laid her head on her shoulder. "My dad despises me." They both stared into each other's eyes understandingly. It was nice to know someone's in the same boat as you. They both looked over to Gabriel, who was glaring into the fire broodingly. Natalie spoke up. Are you okay, Gabe? You've been like this all week. Gabriel looked over to her like she just accused him of murder. He nodded slowly, but eventually devolved into him shaking his head grimly. Yeah. No, not really. He muttered under his breath where a puff of warm air came out. Oh, what's wrong? Emily asked. Just got reminded of a bad thing that happened in my past. He snickered to himself before groaning, covering his face with mitten-clad hands. 10 years today. 10 years since I've basically disowned myself from my parents. Emily looked over with sympathy. She nudged Natalie before they both scooched over to him together. You never actually told why. Gabriel groaned again, but turned to look at them. We just couldn't stand each other, he snapped. He paused when he realised his voice was too loud before quickly apologising and continuing. They already had a general plan for me. Like I'd take over their business, not go to college since that wasn't worth it, or how they would chastise me for wearing something that didn't deem cool as hell. He sighed before turning back to the fire. People used to call me selfish for not liking my loving parents, but they didn't know how they actually were. I remember it exactly. On Christmas Day, me and my dad got into a fight, like a really bad one. I just couldn't take it, so I packed my bags and left. Never looked back. Natalie tilted her head to the side as he looked her up and down, the same thinking expression on her face as before. What was it about? She asked as Emily shot her a small glare. You can't just ask that so quickly. Gabriel spoke up. No, it's fine. It was something about me wanting to get into fashion designing. We were having the same fight almost daily, so I guess I just had enough. Changed my name and all, but they never tried to get back in touch, so I doubt they miss me. I don't have a family anymore. That's not true. Suddenly, Emily wrapped her arm around Gabriel's shoulders and dragged him into the pile. You have us now. Natalie nodded in agreement as she reached out and held his hand. We should do something like this every year. Just the three of us together with zero distractions. Right? Emily exclaimed excitedly. Promise, Natalie stated. A beat. Promise. Gabriel responded finally. The three of them simply stared into the fire in each other's presence. Promise. That was so heckin' adorable. Thank you so much for sending me in your entries, besties. There will be a poll up tomorrow so you can vote for the next screaming session. What was your favourite moment from this episode, besties? I'll see you in the next one.